The harsh truth teller. You are idling at a red light in your $87,000 Ford F-250 King Ranch Edition. The leather seats smell new. The dashboard glows like a spaceship. And when you roll past that Prius, you sit 6 inches taller than everyone else on the road. You feel powerful. You feel capable. You feel like a man who can handle anything life throws at him. Except, here's the thing. You work in IT. Your job involves 0 construction, 0 farming, and 0 towing. The bed of your shiny truck has carried exactly 3 items in the last 8 months. A bag of mulch from Lowe's, your kid's bicycle, and a case of Costco water bottles. Meanwhile, you are hemorrhaging money so fast that you have become a walking subsidy program for Ford's quarterly earnings report. This is the pavement princess epidemic, and it is quietly destroying the financial future of the American middle class. Somewhere between 2015 and now, we collectively decided that success and masculinity could be purchased through massive monthly payments on a vehicle designed for commercial construction work. We are cosplaying as blue-collar workers while commuting to climate-controlled offices where the heaviest thing we lift is a laptop. And the math behind this decision is so catastrophically bad that it makes buying lottery tickets look like a sound investment strategy. Let's look at the actual numbers, because the dealership specifically engineered the transaction so you wouldn't. The average new car payment in America has quietly crept over $730 a month. But if you bought a new truck or luxury SUV, you are almost certainly paying over $1,000 a month. Let that sink in. $1,000. Every 30 days, just for the privilege of borrowing a depreciating asset. But the monthly payment is just the bait in the trap. To get your payment down to that $1,000, the dealership had to stretch your auto loan out to 72 or even 84 months. That is 7 years of your life tied to a piece of metal that loses value every single time the sun rises. By the time you make your final payment, that $80,000 truck will have cost you well over $100,000, including interest, and it will be worth maybe $25,000. You are literally setting $75,000 on fire, and we haven't even calculated the operating costs yet. Insurance on a new financed truck is punishing. Gas for a heavy vehicle that gets 15 miles to the gallon is essentially a second car payment. Add in registration, maintenance, and tires that cost $300 a piece, and your actual cost of ownership is closer to $1,500 a month. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans are now officially car poor. They are spending 20, sometimes 25% of their gross income just to get to and from the job that pays them. You are working Monday through Thursday to pay for your life, and you are dedicating every Friday just to pay for the machine that got you there. Why do we do this to ourselves? We do it because the auto industry has masterfully weaponized our ego. They aren't selling you transportation. They are selling you status. They are selling you the feeling of dominance on the highway. And most importantly, they focus your entire attention on the monthly payment rather than the total cost. Can you afford $900 a month? The salesman asks. You do the mental math. You can technically squeeze it in. So you sign the paper. You didn't buy a truck. You bought a financial prison with heated seats and 17 cup holders. But here's the most devastating part of the math. The true cost of the pavement princess isn't the money you spend. It is the wealth you permanently destroy. It is the opportunity cost. Let's say instead of financing that ego trip on wheels, you bought a reliable, slightly boring 5-year-old sedan for $15,000, a Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord. Your payment, if you had one, would be $300. Your insurance is cheaper. Your gas bill is cut in half. You just freed up roughly $1,000 a month in pure cash flow. If you took that $1,000 and invested it into a simple S&P 500 index fund, assuming an average historical return of 8%, do you know what that money turns into over the next 30 years? $1.4 million. Read that number again. $1.4 million. That is the actual cost of your truck. You traded a multi-million-dollar retirement, complete financial freedom, and generational wealth just so you could look cool in the Starbucks drive-thru. You are eating your future self's lunch. You are stealing from your own retirement to subsidize a bank's balance sheet. Escaping this trap requires something that most people are terrified of. It requires ego death. You have to be willing to be the person in the office parking lot with the older, boring car. You have to be willing to let your neighbor think you aren't doing as well as they are. When your buddy shows up to the neighborhood barbecue in his brand new F350 King Ranch and asks what you're driving these days, you have to look him in the eye and tell him the truth. You are driving a paid-off Camry that costs you $200 a month to operate. He might smirk, he might make a joke. Let him, because what he doesn't know is that with the money you aren't spending on a truck, you are building a fortress. You are fully funding your retirement. You are sleeping 8 hours a night because you have zero financial anxiety. You have options. If your boss gets toxic, you can walk away. If you want to take a lower-paying job that you actually enjoy, you can do it. Your boring car buys you freedom. His exciting truck bought him a master.
The math is crystal clear. The truck is a trap. The luxury SUV is a trap. The entire system is engineered to extract your wealth by stroking your ego. The only way out is to stop pretending that burning $80,000 over 7 years makes you more of a man. Real strength is looking at the numbers, admitting you've been sold a lie, and choosing the path that actually builds wealth instead of the one that just looks like it on Instagram. Buy the boring car, keep your money, build your life. But what if you were already in the trap? What if you were listening to this right now while gripping the leather steering wheel of a vehicle that is actively destroying your net worth? You might be thinking, it's too late. I already signed the paperwork. I'm stuck. You are not stuck. But getting out requires understanding exactly how the auto industry built the cage you are currently sitting in. Because the dealership did not accidentally trap you. They used a highly engineered psychological system designed to separate you from your future wealth. Let's go back to the day you bought the car. You walked into the dealership and sat down in the finance office, also known as the box. The finance manager did not ask you how much total wealth you wanted to spend. They asked you one simple question: where do you need your monthly payment to be? This is the greatest magic trick in modern finance. By shifting your focus entirely to the monthly payment, they blinded you to the purchase price, the interest rate, and the loan term. You told them you could afford $800 a month, so they took an $80,000 truck, stretched the loan out to 84 months, factored in a 7% interest rate, and magically hit your $800 target. You felt like you won the negotiation. They let you feel like you won. Meanwhile, they locked you into a contract where you will pay tens of thousands of dollars in interest alone. This hyper-focus on the monthly payment has created a terrifying new epidemic in the American economy: negative equity. Right now, a massive percentage of car owners are underwater on their loans. That means they owe the bank more money than the car is actually worth. Vehicles depreciate rapidly. The moment you drive that new truck off the lot, it loses 10 to 15% of its value. By the end of year 1, it is lost 20%. But because your loan is stretched out over 7 years, your principal balance is barely moving. You are making payments, but the value of the car is falling faster than the loan balance is dropping. So what happens when you get bored of the car after 3 years? You go back to the dealership. You still owe $40,000, but the car is only worth $30,000. The dealer says, no problem. We will just roll that $10,000 of negative equity into your new loan. Now you are financing a new car plus the ghost of your old car. You are paying interest on a vehicle you don't even own anymore. People do this 2 or 3 times in a decade, and suddenly they have a $1,200 monthly payment on a standard commuter car. They have built a towering house of cards out of depreciating metal. When confronted with this math, people immediately start manufacturing excuses. The human ego is brilliant at defending its terrible decisions. The first excuse is safety. I need a brand new massive SUV because it is safe for my family. This is marketing propaganda. A 5-year-old Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 has excellent crash test ratings, side airbags, and backup cameras. You do not need a 3-ton military-grade assault vehicle to safely transport a toddler to soccer practice. You are buying the feeling of safety to justify the purchase of status. The second excuse is reliability. I need a new car so I have a warranty. I can't afford a surprise repair bill. Let's break down the absurdity of this logic. You are willingly paying $800 every month just to avoid the possibility of a one-time $1,000 repair bill. You are paying $9,600 a year in guaranteed depreciation and interest to insure yourself against a hypothetical mechanics bill. It is mathematical insanity. So, how do you escape? How do you break the cycle and reclaim your income? The extraction protocol is going to hurt your pride, but it will save your financial life. Step 1. Find out exactly what your car is worth today. Get quotes from CarMax, Carvana, and Kelley Blue Book. Step 2. Call your lender and get your exact payoff amount. If the car is worth more than you owe, you are one of the lucky ones. Sell the car immediately. Take the cash equity, go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and buy a reliable, ugly, boring used car for cash. If you owe more than the car is worth, which is highly likely, you have to execute a controlled financial burn. You need to sell the car to stop the bleeding. To cover the negative equity, you go to a local credit union and take out a personal loan for the difference. Yes, taking out a personal loan sounds bad, but owing $10,000 on a personal loan is vastly superior to owing $60,000 on a depreciating truck. You have amputated the infected limb to save the patient. Then you buy the $5,000 beater car. The next 2 years, you drive that ugly car with absolute pride. Every time you turn the key and the engine sputters a little bit before starting, you remind yourself that you just bought back your freedom. You take that $800 a month you were sending to Ford or Chevy and you redirect it. First, you violently attack that personal loan until it's gone. Then you point that money directly into your investment accounts. When you make this shift, your entire reality changes. You stop stressing about door dings in the parking lot. You stop caring about the price of premium gas. You stop pretending to be a wealthy person and you quietly start becoming one. The auto industry has spent billions of dollars to convince you that you are what you drive. They want you to believe that a basic sedan means you are falling behind in life. Let them believe it. Let your neighbors believe it. Let your coworkers whisper about why you downgraded your vehicle. Because 5 years from now, when the economy shifts or the layoffs come or the emergency hits, the guy in the $80,000 truck is going to be suffocating under the weight of his payments. You will be bulletproof. The Pavement Princess is a mirage. It's a costume. Take it off, sell it back to the system, and start building the kind of wealth that doesn't need to be parked in a driveway to prove it exists.